In the winding streets of ancient Jerusalem, the city hummed with anticipation as the people prepared for the upcoming Passover festival. Sunlight flickered across stone walls while merchants called to passers-by and the aroma of bread drifted on the breeze. In this vibrant setting, a man sat alone by the city's edge, a man known not by name but by his affliction. He was blind from birth, destined by circumstance to beg for his daily bread from those who hurried past him. This man, cloaked in worn garments, heard the world in 1,000 sounds he could never see, the shuffle of sandals, the laughter of children, and the distant bleating of sheep driven through the city gate. His world was darkness, though his ears apprehended every detail, filling in the colors with imagination. On this particular day, a group made its way along the dusty road. At its center walked Jesus of Nazareth, the teacher whose words had stirred hope in the hearts of the weary and whispers among the skeptical. His disciples walked with him, eager for insight, ever hungry to understand the mysteries he so often seemed to embody. As they drew near to the blind man, the disciples slowed. One of them turned to Jesus and, lowering his voice, asked a question that had weighed on many minds. "Rabbi, who sinned? This man or his parents, that he was born blind?" Their question was shaped by the beliefs of their time. To many, suffering was the shadow of sin, and misfortune the result of some wrongdoing. They wondered whether this man's blindness was a punishment for his own sins or for those of his parents. Jesus stopped, his gaze fixed on the blind beggar. Sunlight danced across his face as he replied, his words as steady and clear as the waters of Galilee. "Neither this man nor his parents sinned," Jesus answered, "but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. As long as it is day, we must do the works of him who sent me. Night is coming, when no one can work. While I am in the world, I am the light of the world." The blind man listened. He did not know what to expect, only that the conversation had stopped at his place of begging. He waited, hands folded in his lap, hope rising though he knew not why. Then Jesus knelt before him. The teacher drew near, close enough that the man could sense his presence, though he could not see his face. The crowd watched in silence as Jesus stooped and spat on the ground. With his fingers, he mixed the dust and spit until it formed a small patch of clay. In an act both simple and profound, Jesus reached out and applied the mud to the blind man's eyes. The crowd murmured. Some were curious, others perplexed, a few looked on with skepticism, for the day was the Sabbath, and such deeds were not to be done. Having anointed his eyes with the clay, Jesus spoke gently to the man. "Go," he said, "wash in the pool of Siloam." The pool of Siloam lay at a distance, fed by the ancient waters of the Gihon spring, a place where many sought both cleansing and refreshment. Without hesitation, guided perhaps by the hope that had taken root in his heart, the blind man rose and felt his way toward the pool. The journey was not without its difficulty, for he still could not see. But he walked with purpose, spurred on by the words of the one called Jesus. Upon arriving at the pool, he knelt by the edge and dipped his hands into the cool water. With trembling fingers, he washed the mud from his eyes. As he did so, something wondrous happened. Where there had been only darkness, now light streamed in. Shadows danced, shapes formed, colors burst forth in brilliance. For the first time in his life, he saw the shimmer of water, the azure sky above, and the faces of those gathered nearby. A shout of astonishment escaped his lips and laughter bubbled up with his tears. Those who witnessed the miracle stood in awe, unable to comprehend what had just taken place. News of the healing spread quickly through the city. Neighbors who had long known the blind beggar were astonished. Some whispered, "Is this not the man who used to sit and beg?" Others shook their heads in disbelief, insisting, "No, he only looks like him." He himself declared, "I am the man."